Let's talk about Rotten Tomatoes. To me, Rotten Tomatoes is a flawed system. Having a film that countless cast and crew have worked on is suddenly reduced to a percentage. But I want to specifically talk about the audience rating system. Prior to this film's release, Captain Marvel reached a record low percentage of people who wanted to see it due to controversial opinions made by Brie Larson. This caused Rotten Tomatoes to spring into action and make the controversial decision to pull that feature immediately. What the feature entailed was that it just asked you if you were interested in a film or not, with the option to explain why. I get why it was taken down because it was easy to manipulate, but at the same time, Disney having that much clout is scary. Might as well get the other controversial Captain Marvel topic out of the way. So let's talk about Brie Larson and her politics. When she was announced as Captain Marvel, I got behind it. I loved her in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. She won a well-deserved Oscar for Room, and was great in Kong Skull Island. Then there was the speech at the Women in Film Crystal and Lucy Awards last year. I made it a point to dig up the full speech in context, not just what the alt-right and DCEU stands wanted you to see. In it, Larson talks about how minorities and women are underrepresented in film criticism. In what she says, I absolutely 100% agree with her. And if you're one of those assholes who won't go see this movie because she is, quote, anti-white, unquote, fuck off. That being said, it's how she said it that pissed me off. What Larson did with this speech was literally this clip from Team America.
As actors, it is our responsibility to read the newspapers and then say what we read on television like it's our own opinion.
Just that air of smug arrogance that comes out as she says those words angers me. She based her whole speech around reading something and presenting it as if she came up with it. That I'm a celebrity, I know more than you attitude pisses me off. It's why I can't stand it when celebrities feel the need to talk about politics. Jesus, we have kids not being vaccinated because a fucking Playboy Playmate said it causes autism. It's not just that speech either. In a recent interview with InStyle magazine, Brie Larson called playing Captain Marvel a form of activism. If you seriously believe that shit, donate every single penny of that nice fat Disney check to Time's Up and women's movements. Fuck sharing these stupid-ass Captain Marvel GoFundMe challenges. Rent out some motherfucking movie theaters nationwide with your own money. Ask Keanu Reeves. He donated $80 million of the money he made from the Matrix sequels to the crews because he felt they deserved it more. Also, for someone who preaches diversity, that is a really white photo op. Whoever took that video on Twitter is clearly working for Warner Brothers. Surely you could have picked a better angle. One more thing, Brie Larson. This movie came out last year.
You know, you've got some really good moves. You must have been Indian in a past life.
You have some moves too.
I must have been white in a past life.
If you're going to preach diversity, maybe don't appear in a movie that makes Green Book look like Do the Right Thing. You weren't exactly starving when you signed on to Basmati Blues in 2013. Now that we got the controversies out of the way, let's finally get to the movie. Sometimes you just gotta be honest about a movie. I'd rather talk about the controversies behind this movie. Hell, if I put this as my thumbnail, I'm guaranteed to get clicks, because that's the shit that clogs my YouTube feed whenever I search for trailers and clips on Captain Marvel. Because this movie just exists. Captain Marvel isn't a movie. It's a cold and calculated corporate product, right down to the International Women's Day release date. Disney, if you have buy a major fucking movie studio money, maybe you could throw a little bit more money and effort into your first female-led superhero movie. Maybe you could be open to talking to talented female directors like Catherine Bigelow or Jennifer Kent, who could make this character interesting, instead of hiring a male-female director team, Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden, because they would shut the fuck up and do as they are told. For what is supposed to be a big event movie, it didn't click with me. At all. The name Captain Marvel has a complicated history. Captain Marvel was created in 1939 by Fawcett Comics, who would later be absorbed by DC. Fawcett lost the Captain Marvel trademark to Marvel Comics. Gee, Captain Marvel looks quite familiar. The Carol Danvers Captain Marvel started out as Ms. Marvel in 1968. However, it wasn't until 2012 that Carol Danvers adopted the Captain Marvel name. Imagine if they went with the current Ms. Marvel. You thought the alt-right would be mad at Brie Larson? Wait till that movie drops. As per usual, let's talk about the good things first. The Marvel Studios logo does something really incredible. It's so wonderful that I will not spoil it. It's a logo I hope to see for the rest of the year. There are some solid performances from Samuel L. Jackson, Jude Law, Lashana Lynch, and Annette Bening. I can safely say that Goose the cat is the best part of the movie. The first post-credits sequence is great, the second one, not so much. But here's the thing. I'm not easily entertained by an orange cat. Because for 8 years, an orange cat has given me free entertainment. This is Butters, my orange tabby cat. This is Butters living his best life thinking he is on a roller coaster. This is Butters recreating the Thriller dance in his sleep. This is my brother's girlfriend's Chihuahua Tails doing a friendship dance with Butters giving a "what the fuck are you doing" look. Why am I talking about Butters? Because this film will cut to Goose whenever the film writes itself into a corner for cheap "aww" moments. Might as well do the same with Butters. Also, for what is supposed to be a big event movie, it sure feels like a network television pilot. I've seen better visual effects and costumes in the Arrowverse. Captain Marvel is a film that is poorly lit and looked like it was barely color corrected. For everyone bitching about Bohemian Rhapsody's Oscar win for editing, show them this movie. The editing in this movie gives me a headache. So let's talk about Brie Larson's performance. As I stated earlier, I do like her as an actress, but she is the least interesting character in her own movie. Over the course of 2 weeks, I watched 2 female-led movies that were extremely compelling. If I didn't see Alita Battle Angel and Fighting with My Family, I would have been more lenient on Captain Marvel. But Alita and Paige in their respective movies have something that Carol Danvers doesn't. An actual character arc. Captain Marvel starts at all-powerful and stays at all-powerful. I'm just gonna say this point blank. If you ever called Rey a Mary Sue, you fucking owe Daisy Ridley an apology. I could believe Rey could hold her own in a fight given that she was originally armed with a staff. I could believe Rey can pilot a spacecraft and have some technical know-how because she had to get those quarter portions to feed herself. I could believe that Obi-Goddamn-Wan Kenobi himself chooses her to wield Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. What I just watched with Captain Marvel was the literal definition of a Mary Sue. Captain Marvel is that character that if you had siblings and played as superheroes, that sibling would go, "No, I jumped! I have laser blast now! I flew away!" It also doesn't help that Larson is giving a Felicity Jones in Rogue One performance, where a normally good actor is just throwing it in because he or she knows it'll be critically acclaimed. Maybe she will be great under the Russo brothers' direction, but in her own movie, she is giving me nothing. As I stated earlier, I don't care about this character because she starts at all-powerful and stays at all-powerful. There's no sense of danger to this character. I know she's gonna get out of the way. I know she's going to escape. I know she's going to win. I said that there are solid performances in this film, and that these actors are trying to make the source material work. But I feel sorry for Samuel L. Jackson. Without spoiling anything, this film takes 11 years of character development of a rebooted character directly based on Jackson and does this. As for the soundtrack, you could tell they fired their master needle dropper James Gunn. If you're one of those critics who bitched about Suicide Squad's soundtrack, I don't want to hear you praise this painfully obvious 90s soundtrack. This soundtrack comes off as if they just picked random songs from an intern's I Love the 90s Spotify playlist. At least with Suicide Squad, the songs that were selected fit the characters. With Captain Marvel, the song selections are just there because 90s. In fact, I'm going to retire the term suicide squatting for painfully obvious song choices in a movie. The new term is going to be Captain Marveling. In fact, there is a use of No Doubt's Just a Girl that feels very cheap and pandering. For a movie that markets itself as the wokest female superhero movie ever, it's really fucking safe. What should have been a standalone movie is yet another setup movie that just fills in the blanks for Avengers Endgame. You can also tell Carol Danvers and Maria Rambeau were clearly written as a lesbian couple, but Kevin Feige stepped in and said, No, we can't do that! We can't offend our conservative fan base! Put more of the cat in, please. Please? Is Captain Marvel the worst movie ever made? No. But when I saw both Alita Battle Angel and Fighting with My Family over the course of 2 weeks, it is really lacking. Captain Marvel is a jumbled mess of a movie too overly reliant on the MCU formula. I'm not going to pretend this is a good movie because there is a Marvel Studios logo in front of it. I didn't have a moment in Captain Marvel where I felt I really want my nieces to watch this movie like I did with Wonder Woman. This is the MCU's bottle episode, when it should have been one of their top tier entries. Just wait for this to hit Disney+. Let's compare this to The Last Jedi, the other critically acclaimed yet audience maligned film released by Disney. On repeat viewings, I grew to appreciate this film more. In 10 years, The Last Jedi will be talked about in the same sense as The Empire Strikes Back. The Last Jedi is going to age like a fine wine. Captain Marvel is going to age like a Billy beer. It's cheap, flash in the pan, and made for cynical reasons. Go support Alita Battle Angel or Fighting with My Family this week. That being said, I'm going to give Captain Marvel a 2 out of 5. It's by no means the worst movie ever made, but it's a movie that could have been so much fucking better. What's that, Butters? You want me to go see Alita Battle Angel again? Okay. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video, and follow me on all my socials at New Realms Media. Until then, I'll see you next time.